My name is Brianna Crawford. I'm 28. I had a stroke at 24 years old. The morning I woke up from my stroke, I woke up on my couch not knowing why I was there. I was very confused. I had a very, very, very strange headache and never stopped to think that anything was wrong. I kept trying to get dressed, but I kept falling over. And when I got into my car to go to work, I almost ripped the car door off my car, and I drove 30 minutes to the other side of town, and the lady I was taking care of had told me that I was having a stroke, and I called my sister. She came to get me and had me look into a mirror and said, "Are you doing this with your face?" And I was unable to recognize what she was trying to have me see. So we got to the hospital, and the next thing I know, I was in the emergency room. I was getting needles poked everywhere. I was being run for tests and one thing after another. And then after them, my vitals ended up being extremely low. They then put me in the ICU. But the whole time, I thought I was fine. I thought I just had a really bad headache, which wasn't really anything abnormal for me. When the doctor came to talk to me in the ICU, she had told me that you have had a stroke. And I said, I thought only older people had strokes. And she then told me that I was very lucky to be alive. The type of stroke that they told me I had was it was an MCA, which is a middle cerebral artery, it was right here, and it was very, very large. After being in the ICU for 2 days, they then transferred me to inpatient stroke unit, which I was there for 7 days, and that's when they started doing like swallow evaluations and then recognizing what I had lost. I was unable to move my left arm, my left leg. I was making really good progress, so they moved me to the inpatient rehab. The rehab that I did while I was in the stroke unit is they had me try to walk, which was not very successful. It was very unsteady, very wobbly. Basically how a baby looks when they first started to walk. I did swallow evals to get the swallowing working again. I couldn't feel anything on the left side of my throat, so I was choking lots. After that, they put me on a puree diet. Eating baby food was a real shot to my pride when I was 24. My confidence during the whole thing was kind of overshadowed by my pride because I was not understanding why this had happened, and I knew I was going to get better, but I didn't know how I was going to get there. That's the point when I was very scared because I thought, what am I supposed to do now? I wasn't working, I wasn't in school. I didn't, just everything had changed. So after going home, and then I started 5 weeks of outpatient rehab at a traumatic brain injury center. I also had to continue doing memory exercises as my short-term memory wasn't the best. After finishing outpatient rehab, I was able to start working again with lots of restrictions. I then got my driver's license back. I started school. I was very cautious of who I told as to, how are people going to look at me? Are they going to think something's wrong with me? Are they going to notice? I didn't want anyone to treat me any differently because of what I'd gone through. After graduating school, I then moved away just to start fresh and try and put all of that behind me. Well, after I moved to a new town, I met this guy and later got married to him.
My name is Tracell Crawford. I'm 24 years old and I'm married to Brianna Crawford. In my tour overseas, I was transferred to Malmstrom Air Force Base, Montana, and there I met my wife, Brianna. When I first met Brianna, I didn't really notice anything at all until a few months after we spoke, and she told me that she favored her left arm because of the stroke. Having to have a stroke at a very young age and her ability to overcome those things and to carry on really stood out to me.
I would like to say thank you to the people who support the American Stroke Association.
Thank you for all the research that you have funded, and
I would not have had the recovery that I did.
thank you for allowing me to be with my wife.